Good afternoon, Carl Hayden High School. Much better. You know, in 2012, the Carlos Slim Foundation, together with the Federal Communications Commission, decided that we would work with cable operators to launch Connect to Compete. Today, we know that program as Everyone On. It's a national program designed to bridge the digital divide between families that do and do not have digital internet, broadband internet at home. So we could start offering families a $10 a month wireless broadband connection, free digital literacy training, and access to low-cost computers at home. Our national challenge is huge. Today, more than 36 million people in the United States live in an area that has broadband access as close as their street, yet can't afford to bring that internet connection home. And so it was a great privilege and opportunity to join the members of the Arizona On board behind me today and Governor Ducey to launch Arizona On as our statewide effort to connect over 300,000 school-aged children to the internet who are lacking it today in Arizona. So we live in an era where more than 80% of Fortune 500 companies require an online job application, and over 50% of today's jobs that are available today, require technology skills. And those numbers are only growing year after year. But think about this. Think about your classroom and your teachers. Over 79% of middle school and high school teachers reported assigning homework where a student needs to leave the classroom in the evening and do their research on the internet after school. In other words, at home. And yet only 18% of those teachers reported that the majority of students have access to broadband. This is what Arizona On is all about. This is the gap that we hope to close. Connecting students to the tools to succeed at home and an internet connection. I'd like to thank the Board of Advisors who are leading this charge in Arizona. They are seated here on stage to my right. Coconino County Supervisor Elizabeth Archuleta, President of the Arizona-Mexico Commission, David Farca, Treasurer of the Arizona-Mexico Commission, Victor Flores, President of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Derek Hall, Market Development of CenturyLink, Alex Suarez, former Congressman to the United States, Ed Pastor, President and CEO of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Leah Marquez Peterson, President of Salt River Project, David Rousseau, and who you will hear from later today, the Senior Vice President for Cox Communications, John Wu. I want to thank you all for accepting the call on behalf of Arizona students to make this important work a reality in Arizona. As I close here, so we can get to our next speaker, I want to ask you all to raise your hand if you own or currently have a smartphone. Who has two of them? But I'd like you to think about the following question, and before 5 o'clock tonight, we'll pick the best answer, and the Carlos Slim Foundation will give a free iPad to the best, randomly selected answer. And the question is, how does computer and internet access lead to success? So, we want you to tweet your answer to Arizona On, and be sure to add hashtag Arizona On, and we will randomly select one of the top answers. And the student again will receive an iPad on behalf of the Carlos Slim Foundation. We look forward to your answers. Now, I'd like to introduce Dr. Geston, the Interim Superintendent for Phoenix Union, to join us at the podium for a few words. Thank you all.
Good afternoon to each and every one of you here. Muy buenas tardes a todos que están aquí con nosotros. I want to thank Governor Ducey for visiting the Phoenix Union High School District once again. I know you've had an opportunity to visit a few of our schools over the last few months, Franklin, Camelback, Metrotech last week. I do also, as Mr. Cordova said, want to recognize Ms. Leila Alston, one of our governing board members. Give her a big round of applause. Entirely appropriate that today Carl Hayden Community High School was the place chosen to make an announcement about technology and access and opportunity for kids. Carl Hayden is a beacon. It's a light around the community and also around the country. Carl Hayden is the location and the place of our computer magnet. It's also known for the internationally renowned, I think that's appropriate now, robotics program, but it's also a school that has experienced a tremendous amount of academic success over the last few years, having gone from a D on its state label to a C, and now currently at a B. Congratulations to Mr. Cordova and your entire team. And the reality today is that Carl Hayden matters. Phoenix Union High School District matters. Our district, this community, ustedes, you matter. You are the future of Phoenix. You're the future leaders. You're the future politicians. You are the future decision makers. And it is extremely important. And again, I thank the governor and the rest of everyone here today for understanding that we must invest in our communities and in our kids just like Carl Hayden. We want to thank the governor for your support. We also want to thank you not only for engaging here, but allowing us to be a part of that conversation in the legislature about what does standards look like, what does student achievement look like, what does funding look like. We want to thank you so much for your support. I want to turn it over to a man that you know very well, Mr. Freddie Legivardi, the leader of the robotics program here. Mr. Legivardi.
So it's been an extreme pleasure to be able to do that, and privilege to be able to do that. And today as well is also a privilege for me to be here with this distinguished group of people to talk about how we were able to do that. So people have asked me in the past, you know, how did you achieve that kind of success? And right away, a certain book comes to mind. It's called The Earth is Flat, and it was by a writer by the name of Thomas Friedman. And in it, he talks about how the internet has changed the whole playing field as far as the world is concerned, and who can be a player in that world. And in the book, he goes and interviews these different corporations and their CEOs and asks them, when was it that you realized that the earth was flat? And when he says flat, he's meaning to the ability to be able to get information like everyone else in the world can. And so for me, I asked myself when I read that book, I said, you know, when was it that I realized that the earth was flat? And it was when we beat MIT in 2004 at the Maine Underwater National Robotics Competition. How did we do that? Well, we were using the internet to contact people that produced some of the products that we were trying to get. We were able to get mentoring via the internet. It was because of the internet and the access it provided that we were able to basically have access to the same information that MIT did. And so because of technology, it allowed us to be on an equal playing field. And for those of you who might not know, when we beat MIT, it was only by 1 point. So when I say equal, we were really neck and neck for that competition. And it's my firm belief that it's technology that put us there. It's technology today that puts us out in front today while we're competing in robotics competitions against 12 countries from 40 universities around the world. We are one of 2 high schools that are competing at that lab. And again, it's because students make of that technology.
It is important to also extend that technology to the home, because it's when that technology gets more pervasive that kids have more opportunity to expose themselves to that technology, and the parents also become technologically literate. So I really commend the efforts of all the gentlemen and ladies here and organizations here that are interested in trying to make this technology spread more throughout our culture and our neighborhood and our society. So I'd like to thank everyone very much for supporting us. And I don't know how to tell you how much it means, because without this technology, we can't do what we're able to do. So thank you very much.
Quality of our students, of our teachers, of our faculty, and I know much of that resides right here at Carl Hayden, so I'd be remiss without starting out with a Go Falcons! And I think we all agree when it comes to a state's responsibility, and certainly the agenda that we're putting forward and working with our legislature to accomplish, that education is at the top of that list. The reason we're all here today, the reason we all do what we do, is because we believe that every child in the state of Arizona, regardless of their zip code, regardless of their neighborhood or their socioeconomic status, whatever it may be, they all should have the opportunity for an excellent education. That's been a theme of my administration, and it's a message I've been delivering all over the state, and it's not one that we'll stray from. Opportunity, access, quality. That's what's going to make a meaningful change in our education system, and that's what's going to prepare our students across the state for graduation. And that's what Arizona On is all about. You know, you can have a really great school with really fantastic teachers and faculty and a student that works hard, studies nightly, and makes the grade. But if that student goes home and doesn't have access to a computer or the internet, especially in this day and age, that student is going to be at a disadvantage. If you just look at the facts, students with access to a personal computer and broadband at home have graduation rates 6 to 8% higher than those that don't, everything else being equal. The reality is we're living in the 21st century and we participate in a 21st century economy. So much of what you will do in the future, your ability to search for jobs, apply for jobs, and actually be successful in a job with a fulfilling career depends on your ability to access and use technology. Just to give you a few quick examples, today more than 80% of Fortune 500 companies require online job applications. About 50% of the jobs that are available require computer skills, and that number is only going to continue to grow. And that's a good thing, because high-tech, quality jobs demand a well-prepared, quality workforce, and these are things that are critical and essential to the growth and vitality of our economy. But here's the problem. Less than half of low-income K-12 students have an internet connection at home. When you compare that to the more than 90% of higher-income families that do have access, what we're faced with is a drastic discrepancy. Or, in more appropriate terminology, this is the digital divide. This divide not only puts individuals at a disadvantage, it puts the entire community at a disadvantage. The fact of the matter is, areas with unconnected households are more likely to experience underinvestment in community assets, lower than average job creation, and slower economic growth. And that just doesn't sit right with me. If all children and families deserve access to a quality education between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m., then don't they also deserve that same shot at success when they get home, when they graduate, and when they enter the workforce? Of course they do. I want to thank everyone here, and especially the Arizona On Board of Directors, John Wolf, and all the leaders that are assembled here involved in the Connect to Compete program, and all the devoted people at Carl Hayden High School and the Phoenix Union District. And I have to say, Chad, I'm really excited for the future here and the opportunity you have, and I thank you for the warm words. I want to ask all of you, go ahead, give them a hand, all of them. These are the things we have to deal with going forward, and I want to ask all of you working close to the digital divide to ensure that all Arizonans and all of our children have the tools necessary to work, compete, and succeed in this 21st century world. Please know that I share this office, and I join you in the mission to make sure that we'll work together to make it a reality for all of the children in our state. I want to thank you for what you do here today. I'm grateful to be here, and I want to say, have a great school year. Thank you.
Thanks to the Board of Advisors for Arizona On. Just a quick reminder that you can text CONNECT to 21545. and you will receive all the information that we discussed here today. Again, on behalf of the Arizona On Board, thank you for your time. Thank you, Paul Hayden.